Yesterday, at approximately 4:40 in the afternoon, officers responded to a residence near the area of 40th Drive and Pinnacle Peak. The initial call was of a family fight. What they learned later was that it was roommates that were calling on an additional roommate who was acting strange and a bit erratic. They were asking officers to show up and help them remove that roommate from that residence. When officers arrived, the roommate was cooperative. There was no indication that there was any problems. They were helping him remove some of that property. At some point, as they were leaving that residence, that suspect closed the door and left officers outside of the residence. Additional officers arrived. They were able to go inside the residence one more time. They were able to speak to that roommate. During that conversation, the roommate did not want to exit that house. There was additional conversations. At some point, the three officers walked up the stairs, and that's when that suspect opened fire on the officers. Commander Greg Carnicle was struck. The two additional female officers were also struck. The courage of the additional officers that responded to that scene as they entered that house to ensure that those officers were removed safely is incredible. The three officers were removed from that residence. That suspect remained inside that house. Officers were transported to the hospital. The two officers that were injured are expected to survive. They do have gunshot injuries. Commander Greg Carnicle was pronounced deceased at the hospital. Eventually, the officers that remained at scene remained with that suspect in hopes that the suspect would come out of that residence and surrender. He did not. At some point, that suspect exited that residence. Officers confronted him. He was armed, and an officer-involved shooting occurred. That suspect has been pronounced deceased at the scene. As you can imagine, we have investigators all night here. It has been very difficult. We will be out here for the next few hours. I want to thank the community for all their support and all our law enforcement partners as well, and our fire partners.
A true hero. Greg Carnicle was a 31-year veteran of our department. We also have Marissa, who is out of surgery right now, and she's stable, as well as Alicia, who has 2 years on and suffered from lower extremities. I can tell you this about Greg. I knew him for 30 years. He and I worked together in Maryville Precinct and used to enjoy way too much church's chicken on duty. So to be able to stand here today and say that one of my good friends is lost is troubling. So please keep us in our thoughts and prayers. Keep the Carnicle family in their thoughts and prayers also. And do know that as soon as we wrap this up, we'll share that information with you. But once again, Phoenix lost a true hero, and that person was Greg Carnicle. Thank you.